On June 14, members of BTS, arguably the world's biggest K-pop act, opened up about feeling burned out and had told fans that they will be taking a break from group activities.
It's shocking for K-pop stars who are packaged to have this perfect image to actually admit that there's something wrong with their careers. And BTS has this kind of international fame that other groups could only dream of. So, what happened?
Hi, I'm Gabby Baizas.
And I'm Isa Abad.
And this is Hello to Hallyu, Rappler's brand new roundtable talk show on Korean pop culture.
So in this show, the biggest Hallyu stans in the Raptor staff share their feelings about several K-culture topics. And today we have Vixie Lema, and Russell Koo as we talk about BTS burnout. So guys, can you introduce yourselves? What do you do in Rappler and which fandom are you from?
Hi, Gabby, and hi, Isa. I'm Vixie Lema, and I'm from the research unit. So I'm a researcher/writer. Yeah. And I'm an army.
Okay, so Russ, yeah.
Hi. So, hi Gabby, hi Isa. I'm Russell Koo. I am a digital communication specialist and I mostly stand girl groups, but my top group are Twice, Luna, and Red Velvet.
Okay, so thanks so much for making the time to be with us today. So when we get into the questions, we'll start off with basics lang. So basics lang muna tayo dito. So, we all heard about the BTS break when they announced it last week. So I guess first things first, ano yung initial reactions when you heard that BTS was gonna take a break? Like, how did you respond? Parang nagulat ba kayo that they were gonna take a break? Or did you see it coming? Like, we can start with Vixie kasi siya yung army in this group. So how did you feel when it was announced?
Actually, mixed feeling siya kasi of course, it's a surprise kasi nga ginawa nila yun during their anniversary. And syempre, parang kasi before that, meron ng mga rumors na it was, parang dun sa anniversary nila, there will be a big announcement. So, yung ibang mga assumptions ng mga tao was a world tour, something like that. And what happened was their announcement of the hiatus nga. So, syempre, as an army, I'm sad kasi they're parang magpa-part ways sila kahit hindi naman yung disband. Pero parang something like that as well kasi nga mag-focus sila sa solo activities nila. But at the same time, mixed feeling siya kasi when I heard of their reasons naman, it's understandable. Ando naman ako sa point na mas iintindihan ko pa rin sila. So, yun.
Yeah, okay. How about you, Russ? What did you feel when you heard about the news?
I think it's really mildly surprising talaga kasi right now BTS is already at the peak of their careers also being able to chart #1 but also knowing the reasons that they said it does also contribute a lot to like why they need the break talaga and why they need to like go their separate ways for now toward their solo activities. I think really they really deserve a rest talaga and really shows din talaga about how armies reacted to the news din eh.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a great segue because actually our next question, I was going to ask about how ARMY, like the fandom in general, how did they respond to the news? Like, were they very understanding when they said that they needed to take a break, they were going to focus on solo activities, or like did they have trouble, like, parang did they have difficulties processing it? Parang did they take their time? Were they in denial? Ayun, parang based on what you've seen, kunwari sa social media, on Stan Twitter, or kunwari like if you have ARMY friends, like how did they respond to the news, yung fandom? Like, baka you'll have army friends, Vixie or Russ, if you guys want to share what you've seen.
Sige, I can start first.
Okay, sure, Russ, go ahead, sure.
Sige. I think like very recently then there was a hashtag na BTS, what's this? Wait, I'll look for it again. It's right now at the top 5 Twitter trends pa rin. It trended since yesterday. Hashtag BTS, it's okay to rest after the Korea Singers Association chairman said that they should reconsider their hiatus because of their impact on Hallyu. Pero I think it really goes to show how armies feel about it na parang they feel sad about why the boys really need the break talaga and how much they've been through. But they also support it kasi at the end of the day, they're human beings naman din. And that's how they really feel about the boys. That's how very emotionally connected they are talaga to the boys.
Yeah. I agree with Ross. Parang majority naman of the army, syempre, surprised, shocked.
Yeah.
Pero nandun pa rin sila sa mas understanding side. Kasi nga, yung mga army naman, I'm sure all of them are informed, well-informed, and aware kung ano ba yung nangyayari sa idol system. So, parang sa kanila, it's surprising. Siguro yung timing din, sobrang biglaan talaga. Pero at the same time, with their context naman, hindi na siguro yun parang something na, parang hard pill to swallow for them. Parang, yun, mas iintindihan mo na lang din talaga.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's just backtrack a little, like when they were like easing into the announcement. Kasi parang during the Festa dinner, may sinabi si RM na talagang tumatak sa akin na parang they admitted na the group was losing their direction. So for me, as like a K-pop fan, talagang I find that admirable kasi it's not every time that we get to hear artists, I mean, not just in K-pop in general, to like actually admit na parang this is what they're going through. And to think na, di ba, parang they're at the peak of their careers. And to think na K-pop idols are like packaged into perfection. So, di ba, parang it's rare that we get to see like idols actually take the risk na magbe-break sila, take a break from their career. Ngayon na may momentum yung group nila. So for you as an ARMY, as someone who've like watched their activity throughout the years, how does it feel like nung marinig mo na na sinabi nila na they're at this point na parang hindi na nila alam kung anong gagawin nila like in the coming years. Diba? Parang it's like, yun, as you've said, parang it's surprising. Pero like to actually know na ito na yung extent ng pinagdadaanan nila, how do you feel about it?
Ako yung first na, halimbawa, nag-contemplate ako, di ba? Siyempre, no, upon hearing the announcement. Parang for me, tama yung sinabi ni Isa kasi doon na sila sa point na yun, bakit parang ngayon pa sila magbe-break? Ang daming mga artists na nagtitrain and yung goal talaga nila is kung nasa na yung BTS ngayon. Tapos biglang, why? Ganon. And sa akin, for me, parang they redefined yung concept nila ng success. Kasi nga, di ba, hitting the billboards, getting yung parang invite sa mga award ceremonies. Not all Asian groups get that privilege. And for BTS to really stand up for their own mental health, yung mga individualities nila, it's really parang courageous act talaga siya na hindi talaga lahat kayang gawin. And ako, mas tiningala ko lang sila. Hindi ako nag-look down sa kanila. Pero I think parang pinanindigan nila kasi sa songs din ng BTS, very vocal din naman sila sa mga advocacies nila. So I think parang mas nag-reflect lang din siya sa decision nila ngayon na it's time na kami naman, parang sarili naman muna nila yung pakinggan nila. So yun.
Do you have anything to add, Ross?
Not really naman. I agree mostly with Vixie naman. I think naman also like considering their sound, then maybe they also are considering like, you know, how they've been growing as artists then. Maybe they need a bit of a break. Kasi if you really see BTS first emerge or debut as a hip-hop group and look at how much they evolved, maybe they need to take a step back then also for the members to see their own individual sound then. It's kind of admirable then, as Vicky said, kasi they want to also discover themselves also as much as they want to discover themselves as a group.
So yeah, exactly. Tsaka RM also mentioned, di ba, na parang he talked about how the whole K-pop idol K-pop idol system basically like don't give the artist time to grow. Na parang I think at this point na parang na-pressure na sila to like to always create music, produce content. Before I go on to my next question, let's just like contextualize it like for non-K-pop fans na gaano ba kasi ka-busy ang isang K-pop system? Like I mean, comparing it to like the Western artists na parang swerte na lang kapag mag-release sila ng isang album sa isang taon.
That's true.
So comparing it to like K-pop acts na basically like
parang talaga silang robots. Like every year, every how many months,
diba?
diba?
Sa isang year, almost the busiest groups have like 3 to 4 albums.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
For us, can you like give us more of an idea kung gaano ba ka-busy usually ang K-pop groups lately?
Like what you said naman, Isa, it's around 3 to 4 albums naman din. Usually for the more busier groups, it's around 2 Korean releases and then maybe if they have other activities in the US or Japan, they would have like 1 release. So that's how very busy it gets. And then not just like the release itself of album. Kasi that's also a very big difference from Western groups. Even the music promotions, every single comeback that you usually have, may mga music shows kayo, and those music shows are like almost every day. They start Tuesday with like the show, and then at Sundays it ends with Inkigayo, and then may mga awards pa. And then on top of that pa, there are also, you know, may mga ibang activity, award shows, variety shows, and everything. So like all of this talaga adds up. And like minsan, I remember like watching a variety show or like one of the Korean variety shows, and then it was one of those girl groups. Medyo related din kasi sa schedule, pero they can only get around 2 to 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they really have to sacrifice so much physically then to be able to provide a lot for their fans then in the K-pop setting.
True. Kaya it's not surprising na rin naman that idols feel burnt out. And it's not just like BTS, but we've heard several idols, especially like in the recent times, who are like open to like discussing to the fans about their mental health. Pero aside from this schedule or like yung sunod-sunod na pagiging like machine-like nila, do you think there are the other factors pa rin kung bakit nag-feel burnout yung mga idols mismo?
Yeah, anyone can start. If you guys have thoughts to share. Kasi ang dami kasing talagang factors that, you know, that make them more open about, you know, I mean, apart from the fact that more people are speaking out, I feel like in general, even outside the K-pop industry, diba, parang people are more welcoming of like, you know, discussions about mental health, ganyan. Tsaka feeling ko, I mean, especially like in the context of the pandemic, diba, parang everyone, parang naging workaholic talaga yung, I mean, everyone has become like a workaholic, and then parang there's no time to rest, and then parang imagine if you're like a creative person then, diba, I think, I'm not sure kasi who brought that up sa festa, parang they said na like, I mean, syempre if you're in a creative rut, edi what can you do about it, diba? Parang you can only do so much then. Parang you can't force yourself to be creative, like, ayun, is there anything else that you guys, you know, think parang affected how open idols started to become about like yung mga ganitong issues like burnout and, you know, taking mental health breaks? Yeah.
Ako naisip ko kasi, di ba training pa lang nila, sobrang exhausting na.
Yeah,
And,
true, exactly.
Oo, di ba? And ano naman siya, out in the open naman kung paano nangyayari yung trainings nila. Di ba parang dito kasi, halimbawa, sa Pilipinas na lang, di ba? Actually, parang kahit sino na nga pwedeng sumikat. Meron na tayong mga internet sensations, ganyan, YouTube sensations, social media star. Pero yung mga K-pop idols, talagang teenage years nila.
Yeah.
Sabi ng BTS, 'di ba? Nawawala yung youth nila, yung youth days nila kasi ito yung parang cost nung gusto nilang dream to achieve, itong maging idol, pero at the end of the day hindi pa rin talaga siya guaranteed. Halimbawa na mag-debut kayo, parang hindi pa rin talaga sure kung talagang sisikat kayo if you'll make it to the top. Like, kung ano yung nangyari sa BTS, parang fortunate enough na nga lang din sila. Pero if you think yung pinagdadaanan ng idols, bago pa sila maging idols, and then after they become idols, talagang maisip mo, may point pa rin talaga dun sa timeline na yon na mapapagod ka din. And naisip ko lang din, no, siguro yung expectations din ng fans, parang kahit gaano kasi halimbawa, parang you feel like you're a family with your fans, ganyan. Pero syempre, hindi pa rin mawawala. Sabi nga ni RM, parang he feels guilty na napapagod siya. Parang he feels guilty na kailangan nilang magpahinga. Parang, bakit? Diba? Deserve niyo yan.
Exactly.
Pero, siguro, nasa part na rin siya ng fans kasi on how we also indirectly demand things from them. Kahit di natin sabihin, alam nila na nag-expect. Kasi, kumbaga, for them, tayo yung parang nagpunta sa kanila or naglagay sa kanila sa kung saan yung situation nila ngayon. To their stardom, to their success. So parang in return, they're expecting something. Pero ang sad lang, di ba, na parang ganun yung, parang magigilty ka pa na napapagod ka.
Exactly.
Deserve naman nila yun eh.
Oo, true.
I mean, speaking of dun sa part na guilty na napagod, I came across this article yesterday. Nagsabi na yung president ng Korea Singer Association, nabasa mo ba yan? Na parang nag-release siya ng statement asking BTS to reconsider the decision of taking a break. Kasi now, the tourism and music industry will like obviously be affected by their break. Pero
gets
that was like,
but you know, over their health, over
at what
parang over their
expense?
sanity.
I mean, we have these individuals who are actually admitted that they feel like so tired, so exhausted with their career. Tapos biglang, ang priority mo was
the tourism industry. Parang, di ba, parang weird nun. I mean, like, for sure, it's gonna affect them. Pero ayun, parang, I feel like if you don't give them a break din naman, they're not going to be parang productive entertainers din. Parang alam mo yun, like, if you get burnt out talaga, di syempre di naman, like, ma-affect yung quality of the work that they put out, and obviously like yung sanity nila in general, like you know, you don't want to keep this person like working like the whole time, diba? Parang kasi ayun, like it's going to affect them also, like, you know, parang not just like mentally also, but yun, as an artist also, diba? Ayun. Yun, there's actually kasi, but then we also said, diba, like it's not like a complete hiatus, di ba? Parang hindi naman sila like, they're not gonna disappear off the face of the earth, di ba? Just because, di ba? Parang at least like they're gonna focus on like solo projects. So, kunwari, kung may solo releases sila, solo like singles, or kunwari, if they have, I'm not sure if like, parang if they have plans to get into like, kunwari, acting or like other projects like that. Is this something that you think parang could help them with, their burnout? I mean, like, it's not that madidisband sila, di ba? Because they clarify that they're still gonna stay together. It's just that, parang they need a break, like, parang from, like, group activities. Tas parang, kunwari, they can find themselves also with, like, yung solo careers. How do you guys think this is gonna affect, parang yung break nila? Like, do you think they can make the most out of their break also? Like, if they venture yung sa mga solo careers nila? Baka Vixie, Russ, if you guys have thoughts?
I think with solo activities naman, I guess it really depends din, especially on how the entertainment company would usually treat them then. I think the more important thing is they find themselves also right now, they find also other ways. Kasi some members may prefer doing their own music, some members may want to take a break. So, and also kasi some people may want to also like take a break from the public spotlight kasi it can also be very frustrating like to be in the public spotlight, especially very hard sa like, in Korean society, especially for idols, hindi naman a lot of profession, especially yung mga online sentiments ng mga idols kasi.
Yeah. Vixie, you have anything to add? So,
Ako, I'm relieved naman kasi nung BTS Festa, parang kapag habang nire-reveal nila yung mga plans nila for themselves in the future, ganyan, or as they take yung break, parang masaya naman sila. And I think it will help them grow and also mabibigay nun yung time and space na kailangan nila. Pero hindi naman, sabi nga nila, there's a promise naman that they'll come back. Pero sa tingin ko kasi pag individual lang sila or parang solo artist, mas malilesen yung pressure in a way na sila na kasi magde-define kung ano ba yung gusto nilang marating, di ba?
Yeah, exactly.
Iba rin kasi yung demand and yung parang expectation pag sinabing BTS, porket nag-Billboard na sila, porket nag-Grammys na sila, di ba? Pero ngayon, parang tama rin talaga yung decision nila para sila naman muna, sila yung mag-reassess and tignan ulit nila, ano ba yung sabi nga ni RM, ano nga ba yung direction nila for themselves.
Yeah, Kasi parang ayun, tsaka BTS, obviously parang they have like their branding, parang they have like a specific sound. Tsaka I haven't listened to like all of their like solo releases, pero the ones that I've listened to kasi like yung mga singles of like individual members, parang iba-iba kasi yung sound nila. Yeah, diba? So parang they have more creative freedom. Parang they can explore different genres din kasi. So baka naman, parang if you explore more genres, baka naman it might help them get out of their creative rut, ganyan, something like that. Kasi we've seen that also with like other groups, and then it worked out really well for them naman. So super excited then to see what's gonna happen for BTS also.
Yeah, so honestly for me, as like someone who've like stan K-pop since second generation era, sobrang surprising and it's like refreshing also to see na idols now, especially like with BTS, are more vocal in terms of like sharing their thoughts in terms of like pursuing solo projects, like also about their mental health. Kasi, I mean, before, parang as long as hindi ka exposed to the public, may fear na hindi ka magiging relevant to the audience. I mean, there was this fear na parang I think, kaya dun rin nag-root yung parang culture that they have to like produce more content every single time. Pero ngayon, we see na, ayun nga, ang dami ng idols who like take mental health breaks and ang dami ring agencies na nag-aalaw ngayon.
Yeah,
diba?
which is good. It's good. Nice
obviously,
development.
that's a good thing. Like, it's a good change for the industry. So, what do you guys think are the factors that led to this? Kasi sobrang supportive na rin ng fans in terms of like, okay na naman kahit mag-take a break siya as long as like, ipina-prioritize niya yung mental health, yung well-being niya.
I think I can start. Talaga like I think it wasn't always like this talaga in the K-pop industry. Like K-pop idols were like really pushed talaga physically and mentally. Like sometimes nga some people got viral because like they push themselves physically. The reason why, for example, GFriend got popular was because they had to perform like in very tough conditions also. But then also given then the shift also and given recent news about different idols then that changed very differently na parang they became more adjusting towards idols and they started like investing more in mental health, investing more in psychologists, investing more in consulting with people about their mental state. You've seen nga ever since like with third gen idols na they're consulting more in that mental health rate. For example, nina Twice's Mina and Jonghyun. And it's really a good step in the right direction naman talaga. They do consider anxiety and mental health as like a very big deal talaga for people to take a break and to take a step back from the entertainment industry, which is very admirable talaga.
I think nakatulong din kasi sa generation natin ngayon in our world. Sabi nga ni Gabby kanina, mas welcoming tayo when it comes to mental health and we confront it the proper way. Hindi katulad noon na parang tabu siya, na parang iniiwasan siya, di ba?
True. May
parang,
stigma.
Oo, may stigma.
If you have mental health issues.
Pero nakakatuwa lang din isipin kasi at least these people who hold such big influences can actually be vocal na sila rin, tao rin sila, di ba? Na we actually hear you, we actually see you. People who also experience the same thing. So, ayun, feeling ko, kasi syempre K-pop will always be an industry. They will always need to generate income and money. But at the same time, syempre, in order for you to do that, na masaya pa rin naman yung mga talents mo,
Yeah,
di ba?
of course.
You have to prioritize kung ano talaga yung mas importante. And sabi nga ni Gabby and ni Isa kanina, kung may creative rot ka and you really need to take a break, and it will affect your productivity, your creativity, kailangan ibigay talaga ng management yun.
True.
Kasi sila rin yung magsasuffer.
Exactly. Oo, that's true. Ayun, so actually like, so it's about like management, you know, parang it has a lot to do with like yung K-pop industry as a whole, no? Parang, so parang yung idols, they also, it's good that they're also vocal about it, but of course yung entertainment companies, they have to cooperate, of course. Parang, so how do you think, parang moving forward, yung idols and entertainment companies, how can they handle yung mga gantong issues, like, you know, if idols want to take a break, if they're burnt out, parang what are the, parang how can they improve siguro for like future groups, future idols who also want to do the same and take breaks from, you know, from, ayun, parang from releasing content, you know, in such like parang one album after the other. Parang if they want to take, like if they want the rest, how can they handle it for future groups siguro? Russ, or if you have suggestions for entertainment companies, you should listen to Russell Fu. He's got ideas.
Grabe! Hindi ako expert mga
Really ba? No, but if you have, I mean, like,
Hindi ako
kasi we're all like, you know, parang everyone, diba, like, we're all workers and we all like, you know, we all know what it feels like. Parang everyone, regardless of yung industry, diba, we all know what it feels like to, you know, be burnt out. Kasi parang to keep on working and working without rest. So parang, ayun, parang I feel like all of us, parang anyone from any industry can give suggestions on how, you know, parang, you know, more humane ways to handle yung mga burnout, idol burnout moving forward.
I think like starting from the training program talaga mismo, they should start investing na talaga psychologists, mental health experts, everything. And they should do it in a way that it doesn't put on the burden of the idol. Kasi at the end of the day, you want idols talaga who are mentally healthy to be able to put up with all of the demands of the industry. From the start talaga, they should start investing that more. And I also hope then like they also try to think about the schedules more. Kasi sometimes really some companies can be notorious then for like overworking their idols talaga to the point of exhaustion then. So even like giving a bit of breaks minsan also between eras or between albums can also help then, so that they could be able to recuperate, be able to find a way to balance to their healthy selves then while being able to promote as an active group.
I agree with Ross na parang kailangan talaga system yung baguhin sa K-pop. And kasi ang ganda ng example ng BTS kasi they're such a big group and they were able to stand up for something like this. So parang sana mag-take inspiration yung ibang mga groups that they too can rest. And at the same time, siguro pledge din yun sa mga fans kasi makakatulong din, like yung ARMY, ang laki-laki niya, diba? And sobrang powerful niya. Parang ang daming mga donations na nagre-run dahil sa kanila. Yung kaya nila talagang mag-mobilize ng mga tao.
Exactly,
So, I feel like they should also influence other stands, other groups na to also parang parang luwagan muna yung demands from the groups that they're standing na parang tao rin tong mga to.
Exactly.
And alam mo yun, parang maging humane lang din as fans. Kasi I think yung big demand din, hindi lang sa management nang gagaling, but also the fans. We can sometimes be too demanding, too pressuring for them. So, ayun, parang balance lang din naman. If we really support them, di ba?
Yeah, I was actually like super, parang when I was like reviewing kasi kunwari like ano yung quotes nila from the fest, so parang I was really like, I was really like proud of them. Parang BTS kasi they know they have like such a big platform. They're very influential. So for them to be opening up about parang burnout and like mental health, parang and then needing to take a break. Parang sabi ko like, oh my gosh, this is really gonna like set parang when people say BTS paved the way, parang feeling ko ito talaga yun na they paved the way for these kind of discussions. Like, oh my gosh, they really, parang I don't know, like I was really like parang inspired by them. Na parang wow, they really used their platform for good. Like, you know, parang they know na they have a lot of influence in the world. So, yun, parang, and they're not afraid to say na parang, okay, it's okay to take a break for like mental health and for creative issues, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess one of the things I like about the Festa rin kasi was that it was something meant for the armies talaga. Like, it would have been so easy for them to like release a statement saying na, hey, we're taking a break, we're focusing on solid projects, but to actually take the time to tell your fans that this is what this is what you're going through. Diba? Parang it's not, diba? Parang, wow, they know how like important the fans are for them. So, yeah, I guess for our last question, I would just like to ask na parang, gaano ba ka-importante yung mga conversations like this between the idols and the fans? Kasi diba, as I've mentioned, na parang it's not every time that we get to see idols actually like speak out about what they're going through. Lalo na sa fans, knowing na fans yung mostly magiging parang apektado sa kung anong pinagdadaanan nila. So like moving forward, how do you think other idols should like copy? Not necessarily copy, pero like take inspiration from how open BTS is with their fans. So, bato-bato pick. Hindi, sige, si Ross na lang. Kasi si Vic, si Army siya. So, mas may lamang yung...
Sige, Sir Ross, go ahead.
Sige, G, Kerry. I guess really like I think it's not just BTS. Like the connection of K-pop idols to their fans is very, very connective. It's very like there's really an emotional connection, like if they're really far away, and they really do back on that talaga. I guess really like, and I think it really shows really like how K-pop really transcends like cultures, language barriers, everything. Because they feel like the music and like the personality of the idols are what connects them. I think really that relationship should further be nurtured, but I think we should also watch out then also of like people who can abuse that behavior, that fan behavior, especially malicious comments or like yung mga sassings, ganon. But overall talaga, it's really deep kasi, you know.
Yeah. Okay, sige. Si Vixie naman, as an army.
Grabe yung pressure. Sabi ko wag-pressure eh. Pero I agree with Ross. Parang speechless. Parang may ganung hindi mo ma-explain, pero there's really this certain connection. Ako, di naman talaga ako sobrang tagal ng army. Huwag niyo naman akong pero still, nakaka-amaze nga. Kasi totoo yung sinasabi ni Ross. Kasi army lang naman ako. Wala na ako ibang sinestan na group. I listen to Blackpink. Pero hindi ganun yung...
Hindi ka invested.
Hindi ako sobrang invested.
Parang casual listener ka lang. But then you're super attached to BTS.
There's something with their connections rin kasi sa fans na talagang minemaintain nila and parang tinetreasure nila. And ako, I appreciate that kasi parang hindi ka lang fan, hindi ka lang listener, pero you're part of their lives. Yeah. Tulad nga nung ginawa nila sa BTS Festa, di ba? It was unnecessary. For me, hindi na siya necessary. Kasi sila naman yun, it's their decision. We can just, alam mo yun, just wait for them, just respect their decision. Pero they took time nga para ipaliwanag pa yung mga sarili nila. And it just shows how they treasure the armies, how alam mo yung pinapahalagahan nila yung fans na meron sila. Kasi ang laki-laki rin nga talaga ng fan base nila. Pero yun, sa tingin ko sa ibang mga groups naman, they can, yun nga, take inspiration sa kung ano yung merong relationship yung BTS and yung ARMY. And at the same time, kung paano rin kasi inintindi ng ARMY yung BTS, I think if magkakaroon ng ganong connection, if mag-a-allot lang sila ng time to really just be connected, to be more open, at gawin yung ginawa ng BTS or yung ginagawa ng BTS ngayon with the ARMY, baka mas magkaroon rin ng avenue for that certain connection, that understanding. Eventually, nakakailanganin din siguro nila kapag gusto nilang mag-take ng break or something. So, yun.
Okay. Yun, so with that, that ends our episode for today. So thank you so much, Vixie and Russ, for joining us on this episode. I hope to see you. You will join our episode in the future also. Very insightful discussion. So I had a lot of fun talking to you guys about this. So we hope to see you guys in more episodes in the future.
Yeah, tapos our discussion could there's so many points in our discussion na pwede pa nating erase in our next episode.
Wow.
So
May
to our
follow-up.
viewers, if there's anything K-culture topic that you want us to talk about, or like if you want to see our photo card collection, please comment or tweet us with the hashtag hello_to_Hallyu.
So this is Gabby Baizas.
And this is Isa Abad, and this is Hello to Hallyu.